call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we need a motion to appoint a clerk pro temp. Be it resolved, the Board of Education appoints Heather Welch, board member, as clerk pro temp to preside until the election, seating the board president as well as the district clerk for today's meeting. The motion, please. Motion by Mike, second by Camille. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. So we'll turn it over to the clerk.
There you go. So I would just like to call for nominations for board president for the 2023-2024 school year.
I'd like to nominate Al Barone.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? So carried. Okay, I'll turn it over to you.
We're not going to do swearing in today.
No.
Okay.
Do you want me to do vice president?
Yeah,
Since
we
you
should,
do-
just
okay.
because it's on there.
Okay, so I'll call for nominations for vice president for the Board of Education for the school year 2023-2024.
Nominate Tom Miller.
Tom, and we have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Congratulations.
So she'll do the swearing in at the next meeting, along with the oath of office for the two board members that were elected.
Okay, we're here for our reorg meeting. Again, thank you to all our board members. We're here for our reorg meeting. Probably move through this quickly. Do it as a consent. If you want to pull anything out, any discussion, we can do that. We'll do a consent agenda from number 5 to 10. And then go to our regular meeting. So let me just get a motion to move the reorg meeting from consent from number 5 to number 10, and then we can have any discussion if there's any items that you want to discuss. Motion by Tom, second by Camille.
The only question I had, and maybe we'll talk about it at the next meeting, as in the one right after this one, but I was curious on that July 25th. We have that as tentative for a board meeting, if that was needed.
It's going to be needed now.
And the August 8th as well is going to be needed. August 21st, all those are needed.
I would believe so.
Okay.
I mean, if we get to the point where August 8th we don't need one, or the 21st, we could always revisit with the board.
Okay.
And you could cancel one at any point, but we just had a couple of
You're doing hires?
hires that we could not get in for this board meeting. We have quite a few in the next agenda,
I
but
see.
we could not get them all in because we had a couple of people.
Reference, all the,
Yeah.
all the stuff. Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you.
So will it be personnel only agenda?
I'll do my best to make it personal
Swear-
only.
swear-
There may be some capital project things, I'm not sure.
I got you.
But-
Okay.
Some capital project things.
What's that?
It'd be nice if there's some capital project things we have to move on, right?
Let's hope, but I don't know. I don't know if by July 25th we'll have anything.
That was great news though.
And everyone's okay with committees? We're all good to stay on
Yeah,
the
continue.
continue the same committees? And I know Frank Alfonso had asked for increases in scorekeepers and shot clock keepers and all that, so we increased that. We're all good with that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That's not a rate that's set by the section, it's set by the individual schools.
Correct.
Okay. I guess maybe that keeps the market price moving upward. But yeah, that all looked like it made sense. So.
And then need be, believe on our substitutes, we can adjust that if we need to.
Yeah, so there's
Move on.
definitely, we can, once all the other boards in the county have their, rates set, we reset them, I think, 2 years ago. We can look at, substitute rates and I'll get you, a cost comparison to other districts. We're not gonna be able to compare with, like an Ellenville or a Pine Bush, they're quite high.
You can't,
Right.
because the reason why they're high is they're trying to get, talent out to those rural spaces.
Right, so, I'll get a cost comparison for everyone for a later date, but right now this is just setting the rates as of today.
We're all good? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. All right, we can move right into our regular meeting. Well, I guess we don't have to open it up to public comment.
Regular meeting about 8:10.
Okay, so our next item would be consent items from CA to C.5. Have a motion to move to consent, and then you can have discussion. Motion by Camille, second by Heather. If there's anything you want to pull out, we can pull out and have a separate. I think Joel was able to give you a rundown on some of the items, especially the 3 tenure candidates, to put them on tenure track.
Yeah, well, that makes sense, right? Shifting away from grants to
Right.
regular budget. We're seeing some of those new salaries take effect, right? So the special education teacher, MA step 3, 65K, that's all new,
All new.
updated salary, okay?
Budget transfers. They're explained there, so we're good with that, I believe.
Yeah, I think. I like having the purpose, by the way. That's something new, right? Thank you. That third line.
Trying to give you as much information as possible,
Yeah, just having a little piece like that
Yep.
helps.
Yeah. Camille, you had some questions you're good with here,
I have no
the answers to that. I don't know why people don't want to cash checks, if there was one there for $500 something.
Yeah.
Why would you not cash?
We do
forget.
outreach too, I mean.
And plus, we
try.
reached out to those.
A lot of
We do
outreach.
outreach to them.
A lot of
Try.
outreach.
Yeah.
Like,
Like cash it
An
or
inordinate
reissue
amount of
another
hours.
one.
If you don't want it, give it to someone
Yeah.
else.
so,
It's the same people that do
Automatic
withdrawals.
Yeah,
That's why,
you have the same thing?
that's why automatic
We do
deposit.
Everywhere.
enormous amount of outreach. Like, I'm talking $6,000-7,000 in refund checks and our students don't cash them.
Yeah.
And the checks go, and then we have to do all that all
Yeah.
the time, every semester.
It's amazing.
I mean, it was quite a number of hours the business office put in the last 2 months trying to, there's always outreach, but at
people their
different
money.
times of the year, you try to outreach more when you have a little bit more time, but, I mean, it was just,
It looks good.
So everybody's good?
Makes sense.
We'll move it along. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? So carried.
okay, so I know do you want to say superintendent's comments or am I jumping the gun?
I think you want to get on the road.
No, I'm good.
Five.
I'm here.
Here we are.
Go ahead.
So,
Superintendent's
this is actually more for the public if anyone's watching. We have received word from State Ed that Phase 1 of our building project, the elementary school, the high school, and buildings and grounds, we've gotten complete approval on that. So we'll be moving to the next stage. We are still in a holding pattern for the middle school building, so there were some extra questions that they had that they sent to us that got referred to construction and architects so that they could answer some questions. So I thought that we would get an answer back this week, but I think Albany may have peeled out of town a couple days early. So I'm hoping by the end of next
The
week,
following week, right?
if they come back, I'm sure they're not in on Monday, but if they come back Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm hoping by next Friday we hear about the middle school.
Can I ask what area of the middle school was held up for questioning?
It was,
We didn't get that back.
off the top
Okay.
of my head, I don't.
All right.
It was about $109,000 worth of work, and they wanted verbiage on, I don't want to speculate. It was something about $109,000 that of work that was there that they wanted more clarification on. The specifics of it I don't have off the top of my head. So that was all done and submitted. Now we just have to wait for the reviewer, and that's what we found with a couple of these along the way. They would ask for something, like the other day they wanted a certified, notarized memo from the district about the results of the propositions back in October. Well, that all goes originally, but it's not notarized and certified. But it was never needed to be notarized and sort of certified before. So it was just something that they asked for. We had to get it to them, and then it was like a 2 or 3 day lag before, they asked the next question. So I think just some of it is. It's also new people in that office,
people,
so I think they might be, being a little bit more cautious with what they're approving. So, but fingers crossed, middle school will be done in the near future. Phase 2. So that is the rest of the project. Remember, we broke this into 2 phases. Those plans have all been submitted. Al signed off on them. I signed off on them, and they've been submitted to state ed. So now we just go through that process. The fingers crossed on this one as well. There are no more federally funded projects that have to be approved. So nothing should be leapfrogging us like what happened in phase 1. So. It's just the regular projects that are in front of that are up there. So our deadline was June 30th, and I think they got them in a week early. I think that's when you signed off.
Yeah.
So so we were moving to try to meet anyone else that had a June 30th deadline. So as soon as I hear something back from them, we will keep everyone apprised. Other than that, we had great graduation ceremonies at all 3 schools. So kudos to the folks that put those together, especially at the high school level. We had a pivoting of moving ceremonies inside, outside, outside, inside, back outside, and that was a lot of coordination that needed to take place. So thanks to everyone that was involved with that. And it turned out to be a beautiful night, and thankfully we got ours in, and other folks, I've been watching Facebook, other people have they just had them in the rain. They stayed outside and had them in the rain. I don't know how that would go over here. But, obviously you're not going to stay out and do it in a thunder and lightning storm, but Kingston, Arlington, they just bring your umbrella, bring a clear slicker to put over your thing, and they just had it in the rain.
It's pretty risky, only because like Marlboro was considering that,
Yeah.
except one lightning bolt would displace 1,000 people,
And
it
have
wasn't
everybody
worth
running
the
like
risk.
crazy, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, some of the kids slip off of the
So-
dais and you're gonna have.
It might depend on what you have as far as an alternate setting, but
Yeah.
Jim's work, we've done it before.
Yep.
Kids
So-
still leave with their diploma.
So it all worked out. It was a good ending to the year, so lots of happy faces. That's all I really have.
Just to add to what Joel said about the capital project, I'd asked him so we can have a support service meeting in a couple weeks, just to see where our construction manager and architect are to package the project and move it out to bid, because I think the sooner we can get it out there, sometime in September,
Yeah.
and get favorable bids back, that might help us, and then they have enough time to secure materials and everything, so next summer it can hit the ground running.
All the contractors have had the summer vacations that wanna pay the bills and it's gonna be fun to get them.
Let's hope.
I'm hearing there's still problems with lead times, or they're just emerging now with construction fully coming online.
So to get it out, to bid sometime in September, because most contractors now with schoolwork, the next 2 months are swamped, so they're not even going to consider any new projects. So, but I like to see them have it ready to go September and get the bids back for us, maybe in October to approve and move ahead. It's going to be difficult with phase 2 because it's still going to wait on approval, and if we get that, we're hoping 3 months. we're looking at November, and that's got some long lead items, so.
Yeah. Which one's the field in? I know we got
Two.
town. Yeah. Okay.
Again,
Okay.
hopefully the process goes a little quicker now that there are no federal
Yeah.
projects jumping in front of us.
Are we looking at more than 40-week lead on some of those items, or that you know of? Two?
But,
Just that you're saying long lead items, how long out are we talking about? Are you familiar with the surface?
well, the mechanicals and, you know, we have all the rooftop units, the boilers and all that. They're out there. I mean,
13
windows
weeks.
now are out there. I don't think we have any window
8 to
replacements.
13.
We're not still looking at a year, right? I think they come down from a year.
Yeah, I heard
It's
windows
a little
are
like
long lead item.
even in electrical light fixtures are a long lead item. And switch gear and panels and all that. You know, there's one component that can hold up. You know, the quicker they get it out there.
I was talking with Manny of Basic Glass, and he's like, it's out of control, the number of schools. Yeah, he's got a lot of schools he's
so
supplying glass for, and he's having from basic things, from the materials to adhesives to.
Yeah.
Well, I had the same conversation with him last week.
Hmm.
Same thing.
He was smiling ear to
It's a
ear,
real
but
tough place to be in when you just like have all this work and you
There's
get.
nothing going on this fall.
I don't believe
I'm not
that.
seeing
There's
it.
nobody that'll bite on something.
Phase one doesn't have really anything that can happen ASAP.
Like quick fix.
We were
items.
hoping for this summer, and that would have been the elementary school
Right.
doing flooring, ceilings.
Nothing
and
really
but-
that you can do while the schools are
There's no,
occupied.
there's no flash that we can put out there, a quick fix that,
We'll see what
showing
the
projects.
construction manager has to say,
Yeah.
and those two.
I mean, phase two had the concession stand that could go at any time. It doesn't affect, you know, kids. You can isolate, but that's phase two. It's not even approved yet.
Right.
You gotta be patient.
All right, anything else, any comments on the superintendent's report? Okay, move into new business. Any new business?
I know last year we talked about a retreat, we just couldn't get it in there. I didn't know if that's something, you know, we're going back to 2 meetings per month. Is one of those meetings a better time to maybe carve out? Up to you.
Probably, we wouldn't want to do anything over the summer because vacations and everything, so maybe we'll schedule something for September. We get back and one of those meetings or a special meeting, we'll have a retreat. We'll go
Program it
to
in
a
and let's
venue and
have
we'll be able to. All right? That would be under the old business anyway, because we had spoke about it.
Gotcha.
Anything else under new business? Anything under old business? Anything for the good and welfare of the district?
Happy 4th of July.
Yes.
Public comment? Okay, motion to adjourn. Motion by Tom, second by Heather. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank everyone for coming out. So